Hi, today we're going to look at how to do a pen sketch of an iris flower. Let's get started. If you are a bit nervous to try pen sketching, a flower is a really good one to start with because they haven't got very straight edges. So if you have a shaky hand, it's going to look just fine. So to start the iris, I'm going to start with the inside of a peace sign. So I'm going to have a line going up and then two lines going off the edge of it, almost as if it's a peace sign. Now at the top of this, we're going to draw a V, but don't just draw a straight V as if you're writing. Give it a bit of a curve and try and make each one a little different. If there's slight differences in them, they'll look more natural. Okay, these V's are going to curve in and go down to the middle in an S shape. So from the top, we're just going to make an S shape. Obviously on the other side, it's going to be a back to front. If you would feel more comfortable, you can turn the page so that it's always upright. Then you might get a better S shape. Right, down this center line that we drew on each of them, just going to draw a line on each side. On the flower, this is a little bit of purple. So we're just going to draw that line to show that it's a bit different. As you can see, if you just draw a straight line, it's not going to look as nice. If your line's a little bit wobbly, it looks more natural. Right, and then there's little lines coming off here. Now, to get a slightly thinner line, I'm just not pressing on the page as hard. So I pressed quite hard for the other lines. To get a lighter line, I'm just pressing lighter. So I'm just going around. Okay, in between each of these petals that we've just done, there's another petal. So this flower has 6 petals. 3 are the same, and then the other 3 are the same. So we're going to start with our other 3 petals now. And there's some lines here that I think they're probably like a type of pollen. So we're just going to draw 2 lines out, and then about 3 or 4 dots on each side of the line. Flowers are nice to draw because you can break them up into these simple components. Right, we're going to draw the petals that these markings are on now, and they're slightly thinner petals. You want them to come out further than these lines that you've just drawn now. Quite a bit further, actually. If you want to, you could draw a fold in the flower. They get slightly wider as you get to the end, and you could do a little line on the inside as if it's a fold in the petal. These petals are quite delicate and they have little folds in them. So it's thinner at the bottom, but thicker at the top. And add a little fold line, as if the petal's curling up. If you've made your petal too thin, draw the fold line on the outside. If your petal's looking a little thick, draw the fold line on the inside. So then that will balance it out. Right, we're going to draw the other 3 petals now. Again, these petals are thin at the bottom, and then they get thicker like a bulb at the top. And these ones should be slightly fatter than the 3 that we've just drawn, but they should all kind of go out to the same point. If you want to, you could just draw a dot so that you know kind of where you're aiming for with each petal. Okay, so it's thinner, and then it fans out a bit more than our last one. And there's kind of a fold thing in the middle. Again, I've done this line here, so it looks like the petal's almost folding over. Right, then on these bigger petals, the 3 bigger petals, we just need to add one more detail. It's a bit of like pollen that comes out the top, almost in an umbrella or a fan-like shape. And each of them has got a little bulb at the top of it. Okay, so from the middle of this V, you can start with one line going straight, one line curving out on each side, and then fill it up with smaller lines. And then kind of add a little bulb to the end. And then you also might notice a little bit of this pollen at the bottom. So at the bottom of each of your bigger petals, just add a few dots. It's almost like dots of that yellow pollen. Right, and there's our iris flower. If you wanted to make it look a little bit more exciting, you could take a pencil crayon and colour in the lilac and the yellow parts of the flower. Another option is to colour in the background. So you could do several of these irises and then just make the background a bright colour. I just used a little bit of highlighter to colour in the background of this one. I'm sure your iris turned out awesome. This is such a nice, easy picture to get into pen sketching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. And if you want to learn more about pen sketching, subscribe to my channel. I put up new videos every week.